The morning sun rose gently over Denver, Colorado, painting the city in soft gold. The world was waking up. But for Sarah Dawson, it felt like time had stopped. She sat on the cold hospital bench, staring at her phone screen, trembling. A single text message blinked from the night before. "We're on our way home. Don't wait up." Her husband and daughter never made it home. A drunk driver had crossed into their lane. In one moment, Sarah's life shattered. The collapse the weeks that followed were a blur of pain and silence. The laughter that once filled her home was gone, replaced by echoes of memories she couldn't bear to face. Sarah had always been a strong, ambitious woman, a senior project manager at a major tech company, respected and admired by her peers. But after the accident, she stopped going to work, stopped answering calls, stopped living. Her co-workers sent flowers and messages. Her boss gave her time off, but none of it reached her heart. One day, as she stared at the blank wall of her living room, she whispered, "Why am I still here?" There was no answer, only the quiet hum of emptiness, the spark of purpose. Months later, Sarah was driving through the same intersection where the accident happened. Her hand shook on the wheel, but this time, she noticed something new. A small wooden cross on the side of the road, covered in flowers and notes. She stopped the car and stepped out, kneeling beside it. Among the flowers, she found a note from a stranger. "I lost my brother here too, but we started the campaign to make this road safer. You're not alone." That one sentence changed everything. Sarah realized grief didn't have to be an ending. It could be a beginning, the beginning of change. The next day, she started researching accident prevention and road safety. What she discovered shocked her. Drunk driving incidents had surged, yet public awareness and safety programs were underfunded. She decided to do something. Sarah began a small campaign called the Safe Roads Project. She designed flyers, created a website, and began sharing her story online. At first, only a few people noticed. Some left supportive comments, others ignored her completely. But Sarah didn't stop. She reached out to local schools, police departments, and community leaders. She organized small workshops, speaking about the dangers of drunk driving, even when her voice trembled and tears filled her eyes. Every speech, every meeting, every tear became a step out of her grief. The resistance but change is never easy. Some politicians dismissed her as just another emotional activist. Sponsors rejected her proposals. Friends warned her to move on and let go of the past. But Sarah knew she couldn't. Her loss had given her a mission, and a mission stronger than fear. She spent her savings printing educational materials. She worked late nights on social media campaigns. She called, emailed, and wrote to every news outlet she could find. Some nights, exhaustion crushed her. She cried alone, asking herself if any of it mattered. But then she remembered her daughter's laugh, that innocent sound that once filled her home, and whisper, "I'll make sure no mother feels this pain again." The turning point: a year later, something unexpected happened. A local journalist covered her campaign on the evening news. Woman turns tragedy into movement for safer roads. The story went viral. Messages flooded in from parents, students, and survivors all across the country. Donations poured in. Volunteers offered to help. Suddenly, the Safe Roads Project grew from a one-woman campaign into a nationwide organization. Sarah was invited to speak at schools, conferences, and eventually at the White House Safety Summit. When she stood on that stage, looking at thousands of people, she realized she wasn't just sharing her story, she was leading a movement. The leader emerges. Over the next 5 years, the Safe Roads Project passed new safety initiatives in multiple states. They funded awareness programs, supported victims' families, and introduced tech-based solutions for detecting impaired drivers. Sarah became a symbol of hope. But she never called herself a leader. When asked how she did it, she simply said, "I didn't lead people. I walked with them." Leadership isn't about standing above others, it's about standing beside them. Her humility inspired thousands. She mentored young activists, encouraging them to lead with compassion, not pride. The storm returns. Success didn't protect Sarah from struggle. Critics accuse her of exploiting tragedy. Social media trolls attacked her relentlessly. One night, after receiving a wave of hateful comments, she sat alone in her office, tears streaming down her face. For a moment, she thought about quitting. But then, her phone buzzed. A message from a mother in Texas. My son attended your school seminar last month. Yesterday, he called me from a party and said he wouldn't get in the car with a drunk friend. He's alive today because of you. Sarah wept. Not from pain, but gratitude. That night, she realized something profound. When you lead with love, the storms don't destroy you, they strengthen you. The legacy. By the time Sarah turned 40, the Safe Roads project had helped reduce alcohol-related accidents by 30% in several states. Her nonprofit partnered with car companies to integrate smart safety systems in vehicles. She was honored with national awards, interviewed on major networks, and featured in magazines. Yet her proudest moment came not from recognition, but from a letter she received one day. Miss Dawson, I lost my sister in a crash. I used to be angry at the world. But your story showed me that pain can build purpose. I'm now working for your organization. Thank you for giving me hope. Sarah folded the letter and placed it on her desk beside two framed photos, her husband and daughter. She smiled softly. We did it, she whispered. We made it mean something. The full circle. Years later, Sarah walked through a new park dedicated to her family, Dawson Hope Gardens, funded by donations from the Safe Roads project. Children played, families laughed, and the world she once thought was gone seemed alive again. A little girl ran up to her and asked, Are you the lady who helps people drive safe? Sarah laughed, tears glimmering in her eyes. Yes, sweetheart, I'm just someone who never gave up. The girl smiled. I want to be like you. Sarah bent down and said, Then promise me one thing, when the world tries to break you, don't let it rise beyond the storm.